Hi, Marilyn here from Cotton and Chocolate, and I'm here talking about month 2 of our 6-month mystery quilt, Into the Stars. So we're well into our cutting and piecing, and I hope that you had great fun with month 1. I had some people coming into the shop showing me what they're making. The colors look fabulous. I'm having fun with Jerry making the blocks, but I'm showing you how to make it. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to talk to you about, we got a bunch of flying geese to make again, yahoo. I'm going to go again, talk about using the wing clipper again for some of you that might have found it a little bit tricky. And then we did, in the piecing instructions, include the sizes that you cut with the wing clipper, or you can also make it the traditional method. So I'll go through that again, just to give you a couple tips and tricks if you had a little trouble last time. So we'll just jump right into it. You're going to make the same size again with step 1. So step 1 for the no waste method, it just shows you the cutting there. It takes you exactly to the size, raw edge 4.5 by 8.5. And again for the wing clipper. So I'm using the wing clipper and my base color is 9.5 inches. My small squares are 5 inch. Oh, I also wanted to show you this really great little tool that we have. Well, it's not a tool, it's a tool holder. And we got these in, they're little, I forgot what they're called, but we have them in the shop now, and they come in all these great colors, and we're getting a lot more colors in. But look, it holds all of my 4 favorites. And then I have the checker trimmer too, and the little Quilter's Magic Wand, and my snippers, and my rotor cutter, and I can keep it right here on my cutting mat or here where I'm working, and it has them right at hand, so super excited about that. We have them if you want to get some at the shop, so of course. Okay, so moving forward, now what you want to do, you've got your square cut, you want to take your 5-inch squares and you want to nudge them in. All right, so as Deb Tucker's rule instructions say, nudge them in about 1/16 of an inch. Try it out, make sure that that nudge is good for you. And when you've marked these with your magic wand, and again, I mark them with my mechanical pencil, so it's a nice small edge, and both of those lines should match up on each square. Okay, if they're off, arrange it so that they match. Okay, so that nudge in, I pin them, and then these are sewn. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and take your ruler, or if you want to eyeball it like I'm doing, but I have a nice steady hand so it doesn't bother me, and then cut that apart, and then you can take your pins out. Okay, and I'll just press one side. I don't have my pin holder here, but I'll just press one side for speed here, and I'm going to press it out nicely towards the triangle. So I kind of hold it open and just press it, but make sure that you don't have any creases in it. Okay, so now I'll set this one aside. We're not going to use it right now. I have the other square that I've marked with my Quilter's Magic Wand with my mechanical pencil, so I don't have too thick of a line, and I'm going to nudge it in. But here is the key, and I'll just kind of point it out. This line should be matching up right there at that point and that point. If it's, you know, down really low, like if I matched it up, it's going to be too low, like those lines are below that point. And that's what's going to cause you trouble. So those lines should be matched up right there with that line. Okay, right there and right there. So those are matched up, and then these are nudged in, and I just arrange it until those match. And if they aren't matched, then I kind of reevaluate that drawing and make sure that I did draw those lines correctly. Because, you know, once in a while when you get to that outside edge, sometimes they scoot outward. So anyways, I make sure that I fiddle around with it so that they are matched up. Okay, then I go ahead and sew that line. Okay, so that's my trick for getting that correct. And then this one I've sewn, they were matched up. So I've sewn here, and then I'm going to cut down that middle line. I'll take this out and press open. And make sure you scoot it all the way open. And when I'm looking at it then, these should be, you know, pretty much parallel. They don't have to be exactly, but they should be setting, you know, not real wonky. And you will have a little bit of, you'll have a little bit of extra left, but not a lot. You're not cutting off a lot. So when you're doing the marking, you need to be precise in all this marking, not thinking, oh, I have a lot of extra. You don't have a lot of extra. You have a little to cut off. So there's my V. My V here matches this V. Once in a while, it's not exact for me. It might be a little bit off, so I have to kind of take my best center, but this one looks pretty darn good. But I'm not, you can see I'm not cutting off a lot. I'm just cutting off a little, just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm turning it. And then I have a second ability to match it up. So my 8.5 is at the bottom, 4.5 here. And then my second ability to match it up is this X right at the top, which is at the top of the V. And again, I'm not cutting off that much. So it is oversized, but it's not hugely oversized. So you're not having that much waste. It's like a little bit, okay? But then the nice thing is I have my points still preserved here, and I have my 1/4 inch right here. So I just wanted... Okay, so now we're going on to section 2, and we're making square and squares. So you're going to take and cut 2 of your light 8.5-inch strips and cross-cut them into 10 8.5-inch squares. You need 2 medium 4.5-inch strips, and you're going to cross-cut those into 20 4.5-inch squares. That's my green here, and you need 2 fabric darks. That's my dark pink, and you need 2 4.5-inch strips there. Cross-cut those into 20 4.5-inch squares. So just like month 1, except you're adding 2 different colors in the 4 corners. So we're going to get out our trusty folded corner clipper, and I'll start by just showing you the first 2 corners. So I'm going to lay my folded corner clipper down so you can see that square right here. And of course, I'll use this to point. I'm going to line up that point here, my 4.5-inch down in the corner. And then I cut that corner off here. And then again, I have that nice each side here. Could get a 1/2 square triangle if you want to use it. And I will pin that to hold that in place. And you can just cut all those greens right now if you want. You have 10 of them. And then I will turn it to the opposite side. So like I said before, you want to do those opposite corners, okay? And do those first. And pin that other side. And then you're going to sew all of those first. And then you're going to press those towards the triangle, okay? And that's what I've done here. And then I've already added these on and cut these. So you're going to take now and add on a pink opposite and a green opposite. So here I've lined this up at 4.5, cut it. Okay, you can add your pin somewhere I have a pin, and then turn this, add your green here, line that up, cut it, and you have each side. And then you would just press those open, and I'll take that pin off, and you would have your square and a square. Okay? And here is the finished product. And you need 10 of those, and they should finish at 8.5 inches, which is the size that you started with your nice 1/4 inch in each piece. Okay, so that's step 2. So I'll put those aside, and we can now turn the page and go to step 3. Woohoo! All right. Let me close that blade. Okay, so this is on the back of your page, and we're doing 1/2 square triangles. So you need to cut from your light fabric 2 fabric strips 5 inches, and you need to cross cut 16 5-inch squares, and you need from your dark fabric also 16 5-inch squares. How about that? Okay, and on your light, you need to get your Quilter's Magic Wand and draw a line down from point to point on all the back sides of there, and then you're going to put right sides together. Okay, match those up, stick a pin on each side, and sew. I like to sew on the inside of the line. My sewer sewed on the line, but I actually prefer sewing inside the line. Right, Jerry? Okay, so once you sew that, that gives you a little bit bigger half square triangle. Then I'm going to cut down the middle. All right, and take your pins out, and you're going to press towards the dark. Okay. We'll press a couple of those, and then you're going to cut these down, and you can use a square up ruler to cut them down. My favorite tool is the block lock, and a lot of you that have sewn with me know that I love the block lock as a square up. So I'm using the 6.5-inch block lock. Love it. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Oh, I love this little holder. This little caddy is great. Okay, so with the block lock, this is how it works. So I need to cut these down to 4.5 inches. And so this square is just a little bit bigger than 4.5. Not that much bigger, but a little bit. So it's just going to be a tiny bit of a square up, okay? So what you do is you have like what I call a valley and a hill, okay? The hill is where you've pressed the seam allowance. So you take the block lock emblem and put it in the valley. And you just push that. There's like a little ridge here in the ruler. And you press that right into the valley. And then you see where it says 4.5. So I have my kind of my 4.5 around here and here. So I'm just gonna square it up. It's just a little bit of a cut down, not a real big one. And then usually I'll do all of this side. Like, so if I have a bunch of these, which you will, and I push it in there and kind of square it up. It's just a tiny square up. Oops. Okay, close your blade. And then you're going to take and turn these around, and you're going to flip the block lock the other way so that the emblem is still in the valley. Okay, and then push this down to 4.5 right there, and then square this up the other way. Okay, and then push this down this way and square it up this way. Okay, and there you go. You have your 4.5-inch squares, and you need, how many does it say that you need? 32 of these. Okay, so there you go. So 32 half square triangles. And then the very last thing that you do is you need to join, for step 4, you need to join a flying geese from this month that you made with the flying geese from the previous month. So you have the flying geese that you made this month, right here.
No, that's last month.
Last month.
This month's over here.
With the one that you made this month. I have one from this month. Okay. And you need to sew them together so that they look like this. So here's one sewn together, and you're going to press towards the medium. You can see that pressed on the back, and that's what it looks like. And you need to make 6 of these, 6 of those units. And there you go. So that's our 4 steps for this month. I hope that you enjoy it, and we will see you in month 3. Have fun. Thanks.